Very good morning, students. Welcome back. Today we'll discuss IoT security tomography. Last class we discussed the IoT security and threat analysis. Very important. So similarly, IoT security tomography is also very important with respect to the security concept of IoT. So there are three actually tomography you have to study: computational tomography, security tomography, and network tomography. Computational tomography means a computing method of producing a 3D picture of internal structure of a object by observation and recording of differences in effects on passage of energy waves impinging on those structures. So this is related to internal structure of 3D internal structure of the object. So we have to study that is computational tomography. Whereas security tomography means finding attacks vulnerable sections and subsections. We have to find what are the different attacks with respect to vulnerable. Vulnerable is nothing but, so it's not giving complete protections of that particular component. So observations for behaviors using a finite number of objects or threads in a complex set of subsystem. This is uh, security tomography. Now we'll see network tomography. It refers to study of vulnerabilities and security aspect for network monitoring in a complex system, where we have to consider different types of network. For example, WSN, wireless sensor networks, it may be RFID network, it may be IoT network, and even allocating resources and ensuring the network reliability and security. That is also we call it as a network tomography. So it's a detailed study of the attacks on vulnerable with respect to section and sub. Now very important is layered attacker model. So both examination point of view as well as IoT concept, it's very important. One question is fixed, almost it is fixed in every question paper. So explain with the need diagram of layered attacker model. Layered attacker model, in the sense we know the IoT architecture is depends or categorized into different layers. Say 6 layers are there. So in each layers, what are the different possible attacks can be, can be can be used, or different attacks can be attacked, and how it can be mitigated, how it can be protected from these attacks. Okay, so for example, physical in the physical layer, in securing protocols DHCP and STP, this may be attacked. So with respect to wireless network, also we can go for some attack. Then data adaptation, unencrypted data store, tampering or sniffing. With respect to network layer, packet sniffing and denial of service attacks such as ping, floods and ICMP attacks. In terms of transport, vulnerable ports in the sense that ports not completely protected. Some hackers can be hacked. So application support and application services, vulnerabilities and application services can be exploited through attacks such as SQL injections. So these are the some different possible attacks on these layers, and what are the solution for these to mitigate these attacks. So again we'll see one by one. So these are the following are suggested solutions for mitigating attacks on layers. So these are the some possible ways to reduce attacks, to mitigate attacks, to protect attacks. Okay, so layer 1 attack solution depends on the devices used. So we have to use very high high end devices. For example, link level provision of security, and even for wireless network we can go for Zigbee at link level security using AES ECM 128. AES is advanced encryption schemes, very so especially for layer 1. So these are the possible ways of solution for attacks. Layer 2 attack solutions, programming the network switches to prevent internal node attacking during use of DHCP. Additional controls, ARP inspection, disabling unused ports, enforcing effective security on virtual LANs. So virtual LAN is the most important solution to mitigate the attacks. Then layer 3 attack solutions, use of tamper resistance router. So some modified routers, some high end routers can be used to reduce the attacks. Use of packet filtering. Okay, so firewall, as I said, firewall is the very important. It can be act as a filter, so it can allow some data, some data should be filtered. So these are something. And then layer 4 attack solution, so port scanning method to identify the vulnerable ports, then effective firewalls configuring and opening of network ports or locking down ports only to those required. Then last, layer 5 and 6 attack solutions are results of poor coding practices of application programmer. Use HTTPS communication link. See, HTTP is simple, HTTPS with security. So hypertext transfer protocol secured, not simple HTTP. So that can be used for solution as a solution for these kind of attacks. So this is the layered attacker model, and these are the some solutions. So it is almost fixed question in the examination. They ask with a neat diagram explain layered attacker. So you have to write the diagram, you have to mention all these attacks and also mention different types of solutions. Now we discussed, we completed module 3. Module 1, 2, 3 are related to IoT concept, related to overview of IoT, architecture of IoT, design principle of IoT, application of IoT, security issues with respect to IoT. Okay, so all these concepts, whatever we studied, all these are related to IoT. Now module 4 and module 5 belongs to overview, architecture, application of wireless sensor networks. Okay, so WSN. So that's why the name of the subject is IoT and WSN. First we have to study related IoT overview, then we have to go for the wireless sensor network. Now in module 4 we have to start with the overview of wireless sensor network and the challenges for wireless sensor network. So challenges are mainly depends on the application, what kind of application we are providing to the user. So again it is classified into two things, characteristic requirement and required mechanism. So characteristic requirements are depends on the type of the service. So type of the service is totally related to network services. Okay, so moving bits is only a mean to an end but not the actual purpose. So many things, it gives the efficient of what type of service you are providing to the user. So that is type of service. Then quality of service, quality of service is nothing but network service only. So it is a again depends on multimedia, what type of application you are providing, whether it is multimedia, whether it is simple applications, all these. So again quality has to be very high. Then fault tolerance in the sense, in the wireless sensor network we are using so many nodes. If one node is comes in fault, then the system should not stop, it should continue. So that is nothing but you have to tolerate that particular, very important. So whole is able to tolerate that such faults, so that we call it as a fault tolerance. Then lifetime is totally depends on the rely on a limited supply of energy. Replacing these energy sources in the field is usually not practicable. It has to be on its own, it has to be updated or upgraded. So the lifetime of entire network is based on the lifetime of the node. Then scalability in the sense, it WSN includes large number of nodes. Some nodes may enter into the area, some nodes move away from the area. In that case you have to be maintain the network parameters, scalability. Then wide range of density in the sense, number of nodes per area. the density of network can vary considerably. So this is also one of the important characteristic requirement. Then programmability in the sense, not only will it be necessary for the nodes to process information, but also they will have to react flexibly on changes in their task. So programmability has to be done. Then maintainability, again based on the task, it may vary. Okay, so for remote, especially for the, if any firing is done, so in that case it has to be task has to be varied, so it has to be maintained properly. So all these are the characteristic requirement, parameters related to characteristic requirement. And the next one is required mechanism. So multi-hop wireless communication. In any application, a direct communication between sender and receiver is faced with some limitation. So you cannot expect direct communication will be there. So in that case, we have to depends on the intermediate nodes for multi-hop communication. Then energy efficient operation, it is there to support a long lifetime of the network. Energy efficient operation is a key technique. So in that case, some algorithm has to be developed that has to be executed. Auto configuration in times, sometimes what happens, on its own it has to be configured. It doesn't depends on the external things. We call it as a auto configuration. Collaboration and in-network processing. So in some application, a single sensor is not able to decide whether an event has happened, but several sensors have to be collaborate to detect an event. So it has to take help of the others node also. So data centric. So in most of the application, the transfer of data between two specific devices are data centric. So in that case, the entire application is depends on the data. Then locality, rather a design a guideline than a proper mechanism. The principle of locality will have to be embraced extensively to ensure in particular scalability. So locality has to be there. Then same exploit trade-off, it is as good as locality principle. So WSN will have to rely to a large degree on exploiting various inherent trade-off between mutually contradictory goals, both during system protocol design and runtime. So these some parameters with respect to the required mechanics. So we started this. So challenges for WSN. So in that case, characteristic requirement we studied, required mechanism we studied. In the future, we will study the entire architecture application of the wireless sensor network. Thank you.